Okay, it is very rarely that I get excited for hand cannons and or sidearms, but in this case, it's a whole different story. The Call is a strand sidearm that honestly took me by surprise, and with the perk pull that it has and the archetype of weapon that it is, honestly, this is the best sidearm in the game. No ifs, ands, or buts. Today, we're going to be going over the Call sidearm and how to get it, some of the perks, some of the roles that you should look out for, and I am going to talk about a build that I have been using it for specifically for Void Warlocks. And quite frankly, you guys are not going to want to miss this one. It's super easy to get, and compared to Indebted Kindness, this is the better option. They are both insanely good, but in terms of just overall usability, the Call is 100% the best option. What's up, guys? I'm JT Goonie. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you guys smack the like button, get subscribed so you don't miss another video. We are going to be going pretty much over all of the weapons. I do have a video on the exotic class items coming up soon, so if you don't want to miss that video, make sure you get subscribed. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and talk about how to get this sidearm. So in order to acquire the Call sidearm, all you have to do really is play the Final Shape campaign. That's really all you have to do. Once you complete the campaign, you will get a couple of quests from Micah 10 that will give you what's called a deep sight weapon bundle. It comes with this sidearm as well as the no hesitation auto rifle, which we'll have another video on that, but that's really all you have to do. You will get a red border. You can go to Ghost in the Pale Heart and craft this weapon and get weapon focusing engrams. You do need 4 engrams and 3000 glimmer in order to focus this weapon for the red borders or the deep sights in order to craft it, but this is going to be one that you want to craft, especially with enhanced perks like Desperate Measures and Lead from Gold. This is going to be at the top of your list for energy sidearms, especially if you want a strand weapon that's going to deal great damage and synergize as well with a lot of the Warlock builds that we're going to talk about. It's nuts. I do think in terms of damage over Indebted Kindness, this is going to be the best one just because of the different debuffs and buffs that come with strand. And on Warlock specifically, when you have the, and I am going to butcher this name, the Metadoxia chest piece for Warlock, having Slice on this weapon is an absolute must. It is so potent against yellow bars and orange bars and even just like minor ads. It's insane. You guys are going to see in the gameplay behind that I am absolutely frying through everything. I know this is just a normal Nightfall strike, but honestly, this is going to be it. I do have a couple of rolls on this weapon that I would like to go over, and honestly, it's going to stay the same for the barrel and the mag perk. Volatile Launch, High Explosive Ordnance are the two main ones that you want, just because look at that blast radius. 66 blast radius on one of the mini rocket sidearms is insane. I think Indebted Kindness can go up to like 50 something, but this is definitely the top damage output for blast radius on this weapon. I've got Lead from Gold Vorpal on the first roll, Beacon Rounds and Hatchling on the second roll, Demolitionist One for All on the third roll, Lead from Gold and Desperate Measures on the fourth roll. Lead from Gold is the #1 perk. We'll go over all of the perks in slot 1 and slot 2, as well as the origin trait for this weapon. So then why don't we go ahead and start there? So in slot 1, we've got Subsistence. Defeating targets rapidly reloads the magazine from reserves. Strategist, final blows with this weapon generate class ability energy. Activating your class ability briefly improves this weapon's stability, which is a great option, especially with the build that we're going to be using on this one, because casting your class ability on Warlock can grant threadlings. Those threadlings go and kill enemies. You throw a tangle at them, get suspend, shoot them with strategist, get some extra stability out of it after casting your class ability. Can't miss. Lead from Gold, picking up heavy ammo also grants ammo to this weapon, is why you want to be running Lead from Gold. It is a no-brainer, and enhanced Lead from Gold gives you even more ammo. So this is the #1 pick. Slice, casting your class ability allows this weapon to sever targets on hit for a brief duration up to a maximum number of targets. I think it caps out at ×3. The next 5 hits within 8 seconds of using your class ability will apply sever to those targets. So I mean, if you're just spamming in a group of ads after casting your class ability, this is just going to give you that slice or that severing burst anyway. Beacon Rounds, final blows with this weapon grant your projectiles tracking. Dealing further damage extends the duration. So get 1 kill, pop damage on a big enemy, just keeps extending that duration. It stacks 4 times and it lasts 12 seconds. So if you want to keep extending that buff, just keep landing shots on a higher tier enemy. Demolitionist, kills with this weapon generate grenade energy. Activating your grenade ability reloads this weapon from reserves. So even more reload, even more grenade energy, especially on Transcendence. This is going to be super clutch, and stats for all. Hitting 3 separate targets increases weapon handling stability, reload, and range for a moderate duration. So you get faster reload, even more stability, and you also get the benefit of having the range extended on this rocket sidearm, so you could literally shoot things from super far away. In perk slot 2, We've got One for All. Hitting 3 separate targets increases damage for a moderate duration, which will pair extremely well with beacon rounds. It'll pair super well with Slice and extremely well with Stats for All, because not only are you bumping your stats up, you're also bumping the damage up, and it does stack. So each stack grants about 35% increased damage for about 10 seconds, and it does not require direct hit. So if you hit splash damage on someone and it just happens to be 3 thralls standing around that blast, you're getting One for All to proc. Desperate Measures. Weapon final blows grant bonus damage. Melee and grenade final blows grant a larger damage bonus that can stack. So get a kill, get the bonus damage. Throw a Transcendence Grenade, you kill a bunch of adds, it just keeps stacking that damage up. It does grant 20% for the second stack and 30% for the third stack. So this is like one of the best damage synergizing perks. If you pair that with Slice, you're just getting an absolute insane amount of damage out of this weapon, especially with those Severing Blasts. Adrenaline Junkie. This weapon gains increased damage and handling from final blows with grenades or this weapon. So no matter what you do with Adrenaline Junkie, whether it be throwing a grenade or getting a kill with this weapon, you're getting a bonus to your damage, which stacks up to 5 times for a max out at 33%. Vorpal Weapon. Increased damage against bosses, vehicles, and guardians with their super active. This is going to be for you PvP battlers and anyone who wants to just chunk down damage on yellow bars and orange bars. This is going to be the perk for you. Golden Tricorn. I do not want you guys to sleep on this perk on this gun. Final blows with this weapon grant bonus damage. While this buff is active, grenade or melee kills of the same damage type greatly increase its damage and duration. So throw a grenade, get a kill, throw a grenade. As long as it's a strand grenade, you're going to get that damage buff. Multi-kill clip. Reloading grants increased damage based on the number of rapid final blows made beforehand. This is good if you're in a hive-based activity with a lot of thrall, or something like the new Vex public event and the Echoes seasonal activities. This is a great perk. And then last but not least, Hatchling. This is going to be a great perk for strand builds specifically. Precision final blows or rapidly defeating targets with this weapon spawn a threadling at the target's location. Threadlings are absolutely insane. They are great for just kind of clearing out adds and creating severing bursts, as well as suspending targets if you are inclined to do that. With the Matadoxia chest piece, you do get a ton of suspend. What Matadoxia does is targets damaged by Arcane Needle emit a suspending detonation when defeated, and landing multiple Arcane Needles on the same target immediately triggers a larger, more powerful detonation. Defeating suspended targets grants melee energy. Your Arcane Needles are strong against barrier champions, so you have anti-barrier built into your melee with this chest piece. Sidearms are also unstop. Not only do you have anti-barrier on your chest piece, but you also have unstop on the sidearm this season. And with it being strand, suspend also is strong against unstoppable champions. So this is literally just a grandmaster killing machine. If that's what you want to do, if this is a sidearm that you have been using for a while, chase down the rolls, chase down the god rolls. We're going to go over the god rolls that I'm looking for here in a moment, because I do want to talk about what in Prismatic is making this weapon so dang good. So the Prismatic Grenade alone, great. Getting grenade kills with Adrenaline Junkie or Subsistence or something like that, or Demolitionist, makes this an absolute perfect pairing. Demo, Adrenaline Junkie is a perk roll that I would recommend, especially with the Void Grenade and the Transcendence Grenade in tandem. You could throw a Transcendence Grenade, let it run out, throw a Void Grenade, and you're getting double dipping on the damage. So Arcane Needle, obviously. Sling a Woven Needle that will embed your Unraveling round, or unraveling them. Activate your melee ability again to chain up to 2 additional attacks. Fantastic pair with this chest piece, and it also gives Slice the ability to sever those targets as well. Weaver's Call. Activate your class ability to weave 3 threadlings and deploy any threadlings you have perched. Targets affected by strand damage have a chance to generate perched threadling. So this is pairing super well with Slice and any of the perks, really any of the perks in slot 2. And then last but not least, Facet of Purpose. Picking up an Orb of Power grants either Amplified, Restoration, Frost Armor, Woven Mail, or Overshield based on the damage type of your equipped super. And when you're running Needle Storm, it's insane how much damage that you are able to do. With the Call procced, you got Needle Storm, all the threadlings that are going to be around you, and you get Woven Mail on top of all that by defeating strand enemies with strand. This is just going to be top of the list, you guys. So some of the best rolls that you're going to want to look for on the Call sidearm is Lead from Gold, Desperate Measures, because Lead from Gold will just keep giving you ammo the more heavy ammo you pick up. So basically just feeding both of your weapons with ammo to keep you topped off pretty much all the time. And with Desperate Measures giving you that damage bump, it is just going to be absolutely shredding through enemies. For role number 2, Slice and Hatchling are going to be great, especially for the Warlock build on Prismatic that we just talked about earlier. This is the best one for you to be using, because once you pop your needles, your super ability needles rather, there will be threadlings everywhere. Cast your super ability, pop Slice on a target by getting a kill. Then when you defeat that target, it grants Hatchling. So it's literally just infinite Hatchlings. And role number 3 that I would chase down is Demolitionist and One for All. Getting that bonus damage with Demolitionist, being able to get grenade energy from getting a kill with this weapon and then tossing a grenade and having that reload the weapon for you. Honestly, with that and One for All, you're able to not only buff the damage for the weapon, but also get your grenade back pretty much instantly and reload the weapon all at the same time. So just take some of the brain work out of getting this weapon to be as good as it can be. Those are the 3 roles that I would recommend. Obviously, Slice is the one that I want to use, and the gameplay you guys been watching in the background, I was using Lead from Gold and Desperate Measures, as well as Slice and Adrenaline Junkie, which is also a fantastic perk role. And then with the Dealer's Choice Origin trait, final blows with this weapon grant a small amount of super energy. Equipping multiple weapons from the Pale Heart increases this effect. Honestly, you could have infinite super uptime with this gun, infinite damage uptime, infinite threadling uptime, infinite debuff uptime with Strand. This is going to be the one if you are a Strand main and you love to just be spamming abilities all the time. The rocket assisted frame sidearms. Sidearms fires self-propelled rocket ammunition. Projectiles explode on impact for high damage. So it's basically a miniature rocket launcher. And versus Indebted Kindness with the RPM, this is a 100 round per minute rocket assisted sidearm, and it gets a magazine size of 11. I have a reload masterwork on most of the rolls that I got, but with counterbalance stock, there is 0 recoil. As a recoil direction of 90, the base stats on this guy, we're sitting at 31 blast radius, 30 range, 60 velocity, 35 stability, 40 handling, and 35 reload speed. And again, it's got that base 9 rounds in the mag, but with some of these perks and some of these options that you have on this weapon, you can bump that up to 11. As you saw in those rolls earlier, you can get up to 35 blast radius on this weapon. And with that being the case, having One for All on this might be a great option, or Desperate Measures for multi-kills to get even more damage stacked on top of each other. This is going to be the one. So let me know what you guys think. The Call is looking pretty dang spicy. It honestly is my favorite weapon from the Pale Heart so far. Been messing around with that stasis hand cannon and the auto rifle. I absolutely love the auto rifle, but the Call I think is taking the top spot. We're gonna have a video on the no hesitation auto rifle from the Pale Heart. So if you guys want to see that video, make sure you guys get subscribed, like this video and like that video. And with all that being said, that's it. That's the Call sidearm. It's crazy good. It's got great accuracy. It's got great stability. It's got great perks. It's got a great origin trait. This is definitely one of the top spots for me in terms of weaponry in the Pale Heart. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.